Camp news is out, and here I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to ask Daniel, and so I'll ask you, would you rather see the offense dominate the defense or defense dominate the offense in camp? Next, Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. You can download the Game Time app today. Use code Locked On College. More on Game Time in a moment. He, of course, is Clint. I am Daniel. We are the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, covering the Georgia Bulldogs each and every day of this season. Thanks for being a first listener, for making us your first listen of the day. Thanks for being an everydayer. Thanks for being part of the 199, a loyal third segment listener. We really appreciate you. As the season gets closer, we are bringing back the Overreaction show on Saturday nights after the game. And so make sure that you're with us on YouTube for that. Yeah. We'll be 6 days a week during the season, Monday through Saturday. And so hope that you'll be with us each and every day. Make sure you're subscribed on the podcast app of your choice, follow or subscribe or whatever that is on your particular listening app of choice. And make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel as well. We appreciate that. That helps the show, helps us out. And we appreciate you for helping us out. Fall camp is here, as Clint mentioned. We're starting to hear from some more players. Raylan Wilson came out and addressed the media and looking like a team leader is what I'll say about Raylan Wilson. Like looking like someone who's ready to say, here I am. Okay. But you talking about a lot of other people. Here's where I'm at.
He looks like a leader and also looks like 250 pounds of chiseled granite.
I don't know what's happening in the weight room at Georgia, but whatever it is, it's working.
Keep it up.
Look, we'll keep up the good work. All right, Clint, we're gonna get into a little true or false, real and fake. What's real and spectacular? What's fake? Heading into fall camp, heading into the 2025 season. And so why don't you jump in, kick us off?
Yep.
What's our first topic to discuss on today's episode?
I'm going to make a statement, Daniel. And here are the three statements I'm going to give
you.
It, baby. Here they are. Statement one that I'm going to ask you is true or false. I'm either making up a lie or I'm telling you the truth. Okay. Statement one. Micah Morris is the most important offensive lineman for our team this year. Statement one.
Okay.
Statement two. It's better for Georgia long-term that in camp, the offense dominates the defense. Coming out of camp, it's going to be better for us. Kirby Smart talking about how dominant the offense is over the defense coming out of camp. Third statement, I'm going to ask you true or false. Glenn Schumann is gone after this year. That's my statement.
See, you've hurt my feelings with that.
Well,
I don't like that.
Well, I say lots of things you don't like.
Yeah. You know what? True. Is that one of the questions?
No, that's not one of the questions. No, that was a give me. Okay.
So we're handling these in three segments. Is that what we're doing here, Clint? All right.
Segment one. Let me make my statement again, and I'm going to have you.
Here we go. Okay.
Micah Morris is the most important offensive lineman for Georgia in 2025. True or false?
That statement is patently false.
Woo!
100%. Could not be more false.
This is wild.
It's an easy one for me.
This is easy, he says. Oh my gosh.
Do you have any idea how easy this is for me?
Into this, and Daniel and I are fighting.
Do you have any idea how easy this is for me? This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a Goodwill Hunting situation for me. This is a joke to me. Okay. Let me break it down because I'm being a bit confrontational on purpose. Because I'm going to nuance this answer a little bit.
He's going to backtrack, people. That's what he
No. This is not a backtrack. I'm going to ask you to repeat the question again.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead. What's your statement?
He's going to be condescending to me. That's
No.
Micah Morris is the most important offensive lineman for Georgia in 2025.
Important, Clint. See, the reason that this is an easy answer no for me is because it would be an easy answer true for me if you said Micah Morris will be the best offensive lineman for Georgia in 2025.
But I didn't say that.
That's easily true statement.
Yeah.
Micah Morris will be the best offensive lineman that we have on this year's team.
I love that.
He is not in any way the most important. Do you know why, Clint? Because he is a sure thing. Micah Morris is going to be what Micah Morris is going to be, and his ceiling is here. His floor is like here.
Yeah.
Man can't not be an absolute dominant, road grading, angry, disruptive, chaotic, violent force on the offensive line. He can't help but be that.
Yep.
It is who he is.
Yep.
The only thing stopping him from being that last year, the year before, was playing time because he had really good, Dylan Fairchild and Tate Ratledge. You ever heard of him, Clint? Like really good offensive linemen.
They're going to be starting for NFL rosters this year.
Really good guards in front of him. That's the only reason we haven't seen it in years past. Micah Morris is as sure of a sure thing as we have on this offensive line, and it's not even conceivably close. So that means he can't be the most important because the most important offensive lineman is one that we really need to be good. Like we need him to be good.
And that person is?
I got two names that I'm vacillating between. I think the most important offensive lineman for Georgia is either Drew Bobo.
Boom. Okay.
Or Monroe Freeling.
Okay.
I think it's one of those two. And here's why I say that. I think Monroe Freeling, of the two tackles that we have returning, both of which looked good at times, both of which looked bad at times.
Real bad at times.
Okay. I think of the two tackles we have returning, I think Monroe Freeling is the one I am less confident in.
Interesting.
Okay. So that means if he elevates his game.
Yep. I hear you.
And steps up to a level, boy, do I feel good about this Georgia offensive line, right?
Yeah.
Like if he's, because there's other names, right, that could step in at tackle. But if I know that I have Monroe Freeling and he's the lesser dependable of the two returning, then I feel good about that.
Okay.
The other name I'm thinking is Drew Bobo because obviously center is such a premium position on the offensive line. Gunnar Stockton going into his first full season starting, that relationship is really critical. Reading defenses, calling out blitzes, getting the offensive line set, the cohesion of a group of offensive linemen with probably 4 new starters, maybe at times 5 new starters. I think the cohesion is probably the most important aspect of this offensive line. Okay. And so I say Drew Bobo, if Drew Bobo elevates his game, is a really solid performer on the inside. Now all of a sudden we've got him and Micah Morris standing next to each other, Clint. That's going to be an opportunity for success for guys like Nate Frazier for the running game. And it's going to equal more time for Gunnar Stockton in the passing game. So most important offensive lineman, Micah Morris, no way. He is the most sure thing. He's the best. I got one of those two guys. Do you see an argument for anyone else as an equally or more important offensive lineman heading into this year?
My man read through my smoke screen. He saw the important phrase in there. He didn't see best, and he read right into it. I couldn't agree more. Micah Morris is going to be the best, but I would not call him the most important offensive lineman this year. I think he's going to be vital for our success, but I think his accessibility and versatility, he is Solomon Kinley of this offensive line. A great, but Solomon Kinley was not the most important offensive lineman in his team on those rosters. Monroe Freeling, yes. Ernest Green is more of a sure thing. You could talk about Daniel Calhoun at guard, but Daniel, Cedric Van Pran, the list of centers at Georgia, I should say, including Sarah Van Brandt, was
long
quite
and
exhaustive,
distinguished,
long and vital for the
Oh
success.
Lord, yes.
Vital.
We're going all the way back to Ben Jones, and like Georgia's had great centers over and over and over and over again.
It's Bobo for me. He is the most important. Yeah. He sets the offense against the defensive front, gets the calls. It's gonna be vital and it's gonna be important. I couldn't agree with you more. Tackles, I think we will see a rotation. I think we have talent at the tackle until we find the right two. It's going to be the Ben Cleveland show where we rotate around until he finds his spot. I think that's where we're going to have a tackle. So I'm not worried about that. But center, yeah, give me this offensive line with some leader leading that. We need the head of the V. We need it bad. We're going to come back after this. I'm going to ask Daniel more about the offense and defense in camp. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Drip Drop. Drip Drop's fantastic. Dan and I love them. We need hydration whenever we travel to Georgia in Athens. We make sure to pack with us.
You got to hydrate.
You got to hydrate. And Drip
Nobody knows this more than executive producer intern Michael Smith.
If M-Dubs does not come to the game that we will all be at without Drip Drop, he will be immediately fired for cause on the spot because Drip Drop is the only thing Daniel and I use for hydration. Everything works better, energy, mood, focus, and my skin, but getting even extra fluids every day isn't always easy. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. My go-to flavor is, in fact, that strawberry, that pink, Daniel, that pink packet that Drip Drop has. It is fantastic. It is so sweet without all the sugar, without all the mess. Right now, Drip Drop is offering Locked On listeners 20% off your first order. Just head to dripdrop.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONCollege. That's dripdrop.com. Promo code LOCKEDONCollege. 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits. All right, Daniel, you answered the most important offensive lineman question, I think, fairly and rationally. I really enjoyed it. And again, when you're talking about how a team is consisting, you can have a guy like an Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas was not the most important offensive lineman on that squad. Again,
you're right.
He was most talented. He wasn't the most important. We need Drew Bobo to step up in a big way this year, or Mineral Freeling, as Daniel has said. Daniel, my second question to you is this. Camp is upon us. We have Kirby's handling ourselves all day long. Every single year, let me give you a little primer to Kirby's fall camp pressers. Okay. He is going to be absolutely merciless in ridiculing every defensive player on the roster, particularly the defensive backs. He's going to say how much they've given up. He's going to say how many catches they have not stopped. He is going to talk about how poor their tackling is on the outside. That is what he's going to say. Okay. However,
I thought you were going to say he's going to be mercilessly ridiculing all of the beat writers that are asking him nonsense questions.
Chip, why are you the way that you are? Why are you the way that you are? Okay. Yes, he will do that as well. He will stare into their soul and break them down. But also, Daniel, the defensive side of the ball. So he's also going to be fair. You have to make sure he's going to be merciless on it, but you have to see what he's actually saying when he talks about the offense. If he's just merciless on the defense and he doesn't pump up the offense, it means the offense is not playing that well. He's just focusing on the defense. If he pumps up the offense and how good they did, and he gives examples, hey, Nate Frazier had a 22-yard run against the defense, and he gives specifics, that's when you know, ooh, okay, offense is catching some. Daniel, coming out of fall camp, is it better? My statement is this. It is better for Georgia's long-term 2025 success if the offense is taking it to the defense in fall camp. True or false?
Clint, I don't know why you feel the need to keep lying to these people, but this is also false. It's fake. It's fake. The panting, the moaning, the screaming. I don't see this as true. Now, the traditional logic that goes behind a statement like the one that you are making, which I don't think is a statement that you necessarily are making, but maybe it is. The traditional logic goes, we know that Georgia's defense is going to be good. And so if the offense is taking it to the defense, well, you know the defense is going to be good. You feel good about that. We have questions about the offense. You know the defense is going to be good. And so it would be better for Georgia if the offense was showing out. When the world is zigging, Clint, what are you going to do? You got to zag. when everybody's betting on the one team. Okay. When it seems like Vegas is begging
85% of money is on Ohio
begging
State to
you.
beat Georgia.
begging you to bet on one team, you got to go the other way. Okay. Here's my logic for saying, no, I don't. I absolutely reject that premise. And I'm in fact going to go the complete other way. Because, and hear me out here, the best way to win a national championship, and that, last I checked, is what we're trying to do. Because we're Georgia, and we are it.
Yep.
So, the best way to win a national championship is to have one side of the ball that is supremely talented. Like, outclasses everyone else in all of college football. Okay, here's some 4 examples.
Go ahead.
Last year, Ohio State, Clint, did they have Jeremiah Smith, great receiver?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely they did. Did they have Egbuka, another great receiver? Yes, they did.
Of course.
Did they have not one but 2 really talented running backs? Absolutely they did. Was the Ohio State offense even remotely comparable last year to the Ohio State defense? No. The Ohio State defense was among the best units in all of college football last year. Do you know what other defense was among the best units in all of college football last year? It's funny you should ask. I'll tell you. Notre Dame, the team that Ohio State played in the national championship game. Both of those teams had pretty good offenses. Pretty good. Now, Jeremiah Love, tremendously talented back. Jeremiah Smith, insanely talented wide receiver. I'm not saying they didn't have good players. I'm not saying their offenses weren't perfectly capable. But they were not the best offenses in college football, Clint. They weren't equally matched with their defenses. One side of the ball was supremely dominant. The year before, Michigan wins the national championship after cheating. Their defense, way more talented and way more dominant than their offense.
Correct.
Everybody knows Georgia won 2 national championships, and Stetson Fleming Bennett IV didn't have anything to do with them because the defense was way more talented than the offense. I've just listed for you the last 4 national champions, and each of those teams has had one unit that was exceedingly better than the other. The thing that you need to win a national championship is you need one side of the ball to be so good that other teams simply cannot keep up. And then the other side of the ball just holds their own and does their thing. And the best chance for Georgia to have one of those units in 2025 is on the defensive side of the ball. So give me that defense all day.
Number 1 defense last year, Ohio State. Number 1 defense before that, Michigan, both back-to-back national champion. The year before that, Georgia was 5. The teams ahead of them, Illinois, Army, Iowa, Minnesota.
Teams with offenses that were so bad they couldn't capitalize on that defense. Thank you. Go ahead.
The year before that, Georgia.
2021 Georgia, the best defense in the history of college football.
4 years in a row, the best defensive team wins. It's not rocket science. Number 2, Georgia is going to have the best kicker, the best punter, and the best returners in the SEC this year. If you give me the best defense and the best special teams, and then you have Kirby Smart and Bobo cooking on the other side, we win all the games.
But Clint, you can't hold teams under 14 points anymore. It's the modern college football. It's 2025. You can't hold teams under 14 points anymore.
I just listed 4 national championship winning teams that did that, though, Daniel. So,
but what about Lincoln Riley?
What about
Sark?
Oh gosh, yeah. Texas and their potent offense.
What about
he's going 60 yards? The big nooner.
No, I'm not here for it. Give me the defense dominating the offense because I think our offense is going to be fine. I actually only need our offense to be fine.
I made a comment that if we're not top 5 in defense this year, 8-4.
You know who didn't have a dominant defense last year?
Say more.
This guy.
Yep, us.
Okay, soft.
We are soft. We're not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Soft. No longer. We're going to come back after this. I'm going to ask Daniel about Glenn Schumann. Is he gone after this year? But first, these. These are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time's fantastic. You need to go ahead and get into your concert that you need this summer and fall is approaching. Get those concerts taken out. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with stress.
You better go to the concert this month, people. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Get it out of your system.
Concert season is ending quickly.
That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time gets closer to the time of the show. Actually, ticket prices drop 60% with their killer last-minute deals. Hey, with Game Time, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use code LOCKEDONCollege. $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. He's soft. No longer.
Clint trying to make everything political.
Everything's a political thing for me. Daniel, I ask you this simple question. True or false? The statement is, this is last year of Glenn Schumann in Georgia.
I don't understand why we have to do this. The third segment's supposed to be fun. I was told the third segment was where we had a good time.
We do have a good time. By the way, third segment, loyal listeners, when we appear somewhere in Athens, you will be the first to know.
You will.
You will. We're having a good time, Daniel. We're all having a good time.
I'm not having a good time because the answer to the question is true.
Yeah, this is the first one that's true that I've listed 3 statements. I've lied to you the first 2, but I've given you truth in the third segment. Glenn Schumann is gone after this year. You say true. Why is that?
I'll tell you why it is. Money.
There it is.
Why does, and wait for this, everyone do everything that they do? Because money.
Because I need to live.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're not talking about living when we're talking about
we talk
coaching
about
salaries.
Living.
Yeah, Daniel. Right. Capital L. Living. Let me list some schools that are going to have head coaching vacancies after this season.
This is the most damning evidence to Glenn Schumann not being in Georgia next year.
I'm only trying to tell you money will be changing hands.
Large amounts.
Because Florida State is going to have a coaching vacancy after this season.
4 wins, 5 wins, maybe.
Does Glenn Schumann recruit the state of Florida well? Does he have a good track record of coaching in the South? Does he know the area? Would he be close proximity to all the relationships that he's built in Georgia? Would he be able to get those players to come down to Florida State and Tallahassee? Would he be able to get a $6 million a year raise in order to go to Florida State? Yeah, all of those things.
All true.
USC is going to have a coaching vacancy after this year. Lincoln Riley's going to be fired. Now, you may say to yourself, well, Glenn Schumann, who's built his reputation coaching at Alabama, coaching at Georgia, recruiting the Southeast, Glenn Schumann is not going to go all the way out to the West Coast. There's no Georgia defensive coordinator that would go all the way out to the West.
Caution sign, Daniel.
But what is it?
It's already happened before.
Oh, so this exact thing.
Correct.
Has happened before. Only this time it's to a school with more history, more pedigree, and if you can believe it, more money than Oregon.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so USC is going to have a coaching vacancy this year, and they just watched their big brother Oregon hire Dan Lanning and bypass them in every way, shape, and form according to football.
Correct.
Oh, I wonder if USC is going to have any interest in Glenn Schumann.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Oklahoma State's going to have a coaching vacancy after this year. That's an interesting one. Arkansas is going to have a coaching vacancy after this year. That could be an interesting one. I'll tell you the one that I am praying to the good Lord above is not the one. because Auburn's going to have a head coaching vacancy after this year. And as we've already stated, this is a man who has coached his entire life in the states of Alabama and Georgia. Do you know which two states Auburn sits right on the line of? Yep, that's correct. So if Auburn hires Glenn Schumann, I will cry 1,000 tears. I don't know that it's the most likely option, but I do think it's fairly likely that Auburn's going to have a head coaching vacancy. But I've just listed to you seven. Now, that's not all the schools. Like Wisconsin's probably going to have a head coaching vacancy after this year. Cincinnati might have a head coaching vacancy after this year. Like there's several schools that might be moving on from their coach.
Correct.
A lot of them feel like they could be real attractive landing spots for a guy like Glenn Schumann. At some point, the money's going to talk, Clint.
Sneaky team. Tell me a team that had a pretty good coach. They liked their coach. They enjoyed their coach.
Okay.
It was time to move on because he had gotten them good success, but they needed great success.
Okay.
And they went and got a defensive-minded coach from a legend of his time to come over and take the team to a 2-time back-to-back national championship team.
It just feels like us.
It's us.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Oh. South Carolina is not firing Shane Beamer this year. They're not firing Shane Beamer.
They have the best quarterback they've had in a hot minute. Garcia, whatever. They have the best defensive player they've had in a hot minute since Clowney. They've been on trajectory. Shane Beamer is a joke. I'm just here to tell you. I'm here to tell you.
But you know who else is a joke? The South Carolina football program. This is a program that's not accustomed to winning.
I know.
That team could go 4-8. They wouldn't fire Shane Beamer. They could go 4-8 and they wouldn't fire Shane Beamer.
They go 4-8. They're firing Shane Beamer.
But if Auburn goes 6-6, they're firing Hugh
They're
Freeze.
firing.
If USC goes 7-5, they're firing Lincoln Riley. Like there's,
and if I'm Glenn Schumann, I take USC in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you
have
do.
All the money.
You're in the Big Ten
class. You're in the Big Ten. Thank you.
You got a national recruiting base. You got it.
You have it.
Dan Lanning has showed you can do it. You can make it work.
You're not Lincoln Riley. You're not going to be more concerned about your Malibu mansion than you are winning games. Glenn Schumann cares about winning games.
Glenn Schumann running out there in a full sweatsuit, no matter what the weather is.
And all up in that sweatsuit. He don't care. Okay.
He don't care one bit. No.
He is Daniel. I'm Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. We'll see y'all on Monday. We're talking more Georgia. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.